3 weeks are in the books, and after week 2, and what I've learned is to expect the unexpected. A Crow a little bit on College Football Showdown earlier. If you've seen it, we'll do the same on tonight's show. The contenders are slowly separating themselves from the pretenders. Y'all are about to witness 45 minutes of unadulterated fire only on Overreaction Monday. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Today I am the governor of college football. Yes, sir. The mayor of college football, a.k.a. Downtown Nino Brown. Yes, sir. Welcome to another marvelous episode of Overreaction Monday. I am the governor of college football, and with me is a guy that needs no introduction, the mayor of college football, Downtown Nino Brown. He got a reason to smile today, boy. He had some fire takes in the all season, some fire takes last week. I had some bad ones. We're gonna learn to deal with it. So we're gonna do, rapid fire one-liners. Nino, what I wanted to do heading into this episode is give you some time to talk some because a lot of times we be a little bit too humble, bro. So I just want to give you a moment. I'm gonna shut the hell up. Moon, you can even mute me right now. Let Nino have his
Yo, BC, we back, baby. Everybody doubted. Bill O'Brien got my boys cooking out there 56-0. All right, that defense wanted to preserve that goose egg, and they worked hard. Thomas Castellanos, last year, it was, he can only run. He's just a Madden game. And then all of a sudden, what? Kind of like Quinn Ewers, the ball all of a sudden appears downfield in the receiver's hands magically, like you had a bowl of Lucky Charms. It was delicious. I don't understand it, but Bill O'Brien is cooking, got that hot bacon grease, and everything is going. We're in the top 25, right? Big matchup against Mizzou. Better get your popcorn ready.
All righty, so let's get into these one-liners, man. So you were at the Boston College game. I love when we have like those active weekends, and kind of everybody is somewhere. Moon was at 3 schools. You were at BC. Me and director Mike were at Maryland. I said it earlier, and I'll probably say it again a little bit later on this show. I didn't think that College Park had that football fan base. I knew they had the basketball fan base because they won the national championship back in 2002. Because I went there for the spring game in 2023. It wasn't many people there. But to see how engaged the fan were, I have some highlights. I can't wait till I put a video together so everybody can see it. So they really shocked me. But let's get into these rapid fire one-liners. And I started off, like I said, this is Nino's episode of Shine, bro. Oregon Peaks pass Boise State 37-34.
Lucy, you got some splitting to do. What is going on? I'm a fan, bro. I'm not happy with squeaking the fuck by here. Well, what's the deal, right? Like, I said it to you last week. We got into a little bit of a heated discussion, right? But where's the explosiveness? The big dogs all taking care of business the way the big dogs, minus Michigan, are supposed to take care of business, okay? But it's okay. In Eugene, everybody's okay with the 10 and 3-point victories. Yeah, I'm not okay with that, all right? I watched your show earlier, and I'm with Jalen, bro. I know you don't believe me, but Bo Nix to Dylan Gabriel is leaps and bounds different in this system. Maybe Dylan Gabriel in the other systems, it was all good. Like I said, we're not box score boys here, okay? We watch film. So, yeah, he can go 80%, right? But Spencer Rattler went 79% and got benched. So if you're just looking at stats, things are different. But if you're watching film, he looks scared to throw the ball downfield. You got 2 outfish. You ain't feeding them. You got to pick and choose which one you want to do. And then when it comes time for you to make that decision, I feel like you just don't want to. It's not the Dylan Gabriel that we saw at the end of the UCF, okay, where he was just like, he was ready to let his belt out and put his thing on the table and do whatever the hell he wanted, okay? And I don't feel like it's the same Dylan Gabriel that was at Oklahoma. I don't know if he's playing it safe. I don't know if he's maybe not as comfortable. I don't know if the system went from what they had in the Pac-12 to now they're moving over to the Big Ten. If things are in moving parts and they're not there, but I'm not gonna lie, defense and tackling, okay, but when they do tackle, it takes a gang to tackle. Like what happened? Brandon Doros last year could tackle anybody in college football by himself. Okay, but Bassett had 8 tackles last week with 1 solo, bro. You're just there doing WWE, fucking jumping on the pile, add it to your stat pack. Like, what's going on? I need to see the Dan Lanning and the Ducks of old. All right, I was told it was plug and play. Like I was at the arcade and the claw was coming down and Bo Nix came out and Dylan Gabriel was the next one out the box. Well, right now I'm trying to throw that stupid squishy duck back in the hole because I don't want him.
That Civil War game is going to be a make or break game for me. My tone have changed with Deion Sanders. I know we're not talking about Colorado right now, but my tone has changed 100% with Deion Sanders this year. Just
don't get me going, bro.
I don't like what I seen Shador doing that presser and sit there and just blame play calling and blame the offense.
When you say, how many times did Viola get hit? You just called out your offensive line without calling out your offensive line.
As the quarterback,
you said it was a rookie mistake. Oh, you threw the ball, homie.
You are the fall guy as a quarterback, but like I said, that's another story. So if I don't see better from Oregon during this Civil War, I'm out. Not on only Oregon, I'm out on my guy too.
They'll be out of the top 10. They can win that game. If they don't win that game by like 3 touchdowns, bro, they're probably going to be out of the top 10.
This isn't the NFL where you stack your wins. College football, you need some style points, man. It is what it is.
It's not Bazooka Joe and Sour Patch. You know what I mean? Like, come on.
Not at all. Michigan State defeats Maryland 27-24. I said it earlier in the opening. I was at that game. I enjoyed it. I got to make it back out to College Park. Moon, I'm trying to figure out where I'm going this week. It may be UVA versus Maryland. It may be ODU, Virginia Tech. I want to see my guy Ali Jennings go to work. But what were your thoughts on the Michigan State beating Maryland and the game that Maryland had? Really?
Maryland still got the standing shot face on right now after that game. Like, you know what I mean? Like, bro, you can't let Aiden Childs hang around. The defense from the Terps is legit. Forced the 3 turnovers, but you just let him hang around too long. Nick Marsh is a dude, 6'3", 208. Get ready, people, for your new wide receiver 1 for the Spartans because he is it from here on out.
They always find one.
Yeah. They seem Jalen Reed. Like there's always a guy. You know what I mean?
Guy. Yeah. Keon Coleman. You go back in the day. With Plaxico, they always have a guy. Utah defeats Baylor 23-12. I asked you this for a reason because you had some really good commentary in the chat that we're in, and I was hoping you would share.
Scary movie number 99 is back again. Okay. Cam Rising gets hurt again and doesn't return. I'm starting to think that we're about to see the same exit strategy that Sammy Hartman had. Cam Rising's about to have. Like this is about what's to happen. Like he's just gonna ride an injury, just kind of coast along, and then go to get drafted late in the 5th round somewhere and be a journeyman backup. Like I don't think this kid's gonna make it through the whole season. You're already hurt. You got tackled into the water coolers, dude. And you're done. We're football players, right? These guys are supposed to be football players. Like, they live for this shit. A quarterback with back problems, quarterback that seems to constantly get hurt. I'm out, man. I'm out. Wow. He can throw the ball around when he's healthy. Dorian Singer looks like a man possessed. Where was that at USC last year? That was trash, bro, right? Like, USC last year was trash. He damn near, that guy pretty much did everything but rip his jersey and helmet off in one of the plays, and he still caught the ball. I mean, Stock's rising on Singer, but me and Stock's dropping on Cam Rising. I'm
out. Time to eat crow again. Tennessee put hands and feet on NC State this weekend, 51-10. You said it. D now said it. Y'all didn't think the game would be close. I will eat crow while you respond, brother.
Some of these guys just passed the time. Grayson McCall's time has came and went. He's not the guy that we thought he would be. He's not the Coastal Carolina guy. He's not him. Okay. Noah Rogers. Where was he? Right. One hit wonder, had one game. Concepcion's a guy, and he'll continue to be the guy. I'll give him slack because Jolly being hurt was a major factor. It makes that offense go back to what it was last season. Okay, it eliminates the way they can play offense. So they have Jolly in there. Now he's a tight end that can block and slide. They don't have that without him in there. You know what I'm saying? So I'll give him that. But, bro, Come on now. We're watching something right now. We're watching one of the best damn quarterbacks in the country, and nobody is really talking about it. He's beaten 2 ranked teams in the 3 games he's played. Iowa, NC State. He's 3-0 in his first 3 starts, beating teams by the score of 155-13. This year alone, he's got over 600 total yards and 6 touchdowns. You're watching the master. We are watching this man blossom into Jackson Arnold. Who? I was told that Jackson Arnold was supposed to be the dude, the Gatorade National Player of the Year. The dude threw for this and that. He comes with this. And Nico's just quietly just sitting there, cutting, assassinating everybody in front of him, and just not a word. Just come on, boys. Let's go. Let's get it done. It's time that we start talking about Josh Heupel in the same damn breath as Lincoln Riley when it comes to quarterbacks and offensive schemes. I'm not a Joe Milton fan. He's in the NFL. You got back-to-back quarterbacks in the NFL.
Got him drafted.
All right, they got him drafted. He about to have probably top 3, not 3 QB in the nation. This dude ain't getting enough credit yet. Tennessee's a problem. And they have one of the best defensive players in the nation in James Pierce. Watch out.
Facts. Big facts. Illinois defeats Kansas 23-17. I know he about to go in, bro.
I've been saying it for a while now. I'm going to beat the damn dead horse. But I don't trust Jaden Daniels. Sub 60%, 4 interceptions, 3 touchdowns. You like that? Shit. Devin Neal almost has more rushing yards than this motherfucker got passing. All right? Like, I'm done with this, bro. All right? I am done with this. Give me Donovan Smith over Jaden Daniels every damn day of the week.
You looking brilliant with that take as well. Clemson defeats App State 66-20.
Cade Klubnik, Garrett Riley went zip and put that thing on the table for everybody to see and look at. Because, bro, my man was dealing and wheeling. 7 touchdowns. I think he had 1 or 2 missed completions. 92% completion. Like, come on. My man was tired of hearing the shit. My man was there. Every touchdown he threw, except for the Burning Stool touchdown, which was 17 yards, was over 30. Was over 27 yards. My man was just big time throwing it up, chucking, did whatever the heck he wanted. I was like, App State was legit. And they just tore App State a new asshole. That shit's like the Ted Williams tunnel right now. They can't even sit down without the balloon. The whole ride back, ballooning it up. But them boys were hurting. And I'll tell you something right now. Clemson that game against Georgia might have woken a monster. If Dabo finally said, okay, because you started to see things that you didn't normally see, right? In the last 13 games, you didn't see the explosive plays, right?
You didn't.
All of a sudden, Phil Moffitt had a rocket in his ass when he hit 22 miles per hour coming out the hole. Like, all of a sudden, there was the explosive plays, right? They were spreading them out, 4 wide, 3 wide. You had the tight end going sideways, not just going upfield, right? Brendan Stone was all over. All of a sudden, Dabo said, okay, Gary, I'm going to give you a little bit more of the pie, and we're going to see what this offense looks like. I think they might want to keep feeding the pie to Garrett Riley. I think that's the answer. Let him get fat.
I love the take, and I don't like the notion. It was against App State. App State is a team that I was high on.
They're a giant killer. They've been giant killers, bro.
Yeah, so I don't like that notion at all. Kansas State squeaks past Tulane 34-27.
DJ Giddens is a problem, bro.
Oh, yeah.
But get me all the shares. I want them all. I'm 110% bought in on Tulane's true freshman quarterback, Darian Menza. Okay? He had a crucial fumble, which literally changed the game. Like, they took that back to the house. They were battling back and forth. But this kid wakes up and just pisses moxie. Okay? This kid is a football player. He got 4 touchdowns and over 600 yards in 2 games already. Like, as a true freshman. I don't think people understand. They went out and got Ty Thompson. This was supposed to be Ty Thompson's time to shine, right? Told that dude, hold my beer. Okay. Kai Horton, when homeboy Michael Pratt got hurt, Kai Horton came in and won 2 games for them to keep Tulane in the top 25, right? Menza came in and said, here, hold this for me. And in back-to-back games, yes, he's made mistakes, but Summerall believes in them, believes in him and what he's doing as a true freshman. Watch out for this kid. I'm telling you, we're going to be talking about this Mensa kid for a little bit.
I love it. Oklahoma State defeats Arkansas 39-31 in a double overtime thriller.
Nick Martin and Obi as a Ugbo are definitely defensive monsters. Brendan Presley is underrated. Tyler Green and Jaquin Jackson. What is Bobby Petrino feeding these boys? Okay? Because Jackson was good at Utah. My man is just, he looking like Bijan Robinson out there. Like, he looked like he's supposed to be a running back. He's shifty. He's making people miss in a phone booth. Like, it's absolutely insane. He's going to get himself drafted. That's 100% facts. Okay? It's insane. But will Bobby Petrino be there next year? Or will he be there as the head coach?
Again, that's interesting. And I said this earlier, and it's almost discriminatory. With him being an older guy and an offensive coordinator, sometimes you feel like the play calling is antiquated. That has not been the situation this year for Arkansas. You've been seeing the midline read options. You've been seeing them do interesting things with Taylor and Green. And I was telling Jalen this earlier. Some teams better look out for Arkansas in the SEC. They're not a team that I thought that would go bowling. Especially how bad the season was last season. I know a lot of people was calling for Sam Pittman to be fired, but I think they're going to go bowling this year, bro.
Yo, why couldn't Boise get that out of Taylor Green? Right?
Makes you think, right?
Exactly. Oh, I was only all he is. This is an athlete. All he can do is run.
Right.
Yeah, see him airing the ball out 45 yards downfield.
D now with a bold take, he said he'll be the head coach.
With the way that offensive looks compared to what it's looked in the last two seasons, right, when Pittman was kind of the guy at the helm,
right?
Bobby Petrino came in there. We never thought he would be there again anyway.
No, it's just something you don't see in the world of sports.
I put the bombardier jacket back on, rode up on a mic and popped his thing and said, I'm here. But, that offense is cooking, so.
It is. All right, so let's get into a couple of our segments. I thought about D now when we kicked it off with this segment. I'm like, he's gonna cuss us the hell out, but we're gonna talk about it anyway. First up on the docket, the Cy Hawk Trophy is heading back to Ames, Iowa after a 54-yard field goal by Kyle Conradi to seal the deal 2019. Nino, I said it all season that Iowa State has the most return production. I know you hate that analytical stat. You think it's a loaded stat. Out of anyone in the country, and I just thought it was time for Matt Campbell and company, like, it's time to put up or shut up. Like, like you kind of been mediocre other than, what was that, the 2020 season? Was it the COVID season that they went that like 9-3? Yeah. So that might have been 21. That might have been 21. Other than that, it's been mediocre. I think that this one may help them down the road. Nino, what were your biggest takeaway?
He put it up, so I'm going to talk about it. It very well could be time for a change. I mean, because Cade McNamara just isn't it. All right.
Wow.
Which one are we going to get? Is it Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde? Are you going to get the 3-touchdown guy? Or are you going to get this version where he's less than 44%, 3.4 yards per attempt, can't hit the left side of a barn, nothing, right? Is it time that they go back to Marco, the freshman that they let play finally in the bowl game when it was a blowout again? Or maybe the Northwestern transfer Brendan Sullivan get a shot soon? I don't know. It's just not him. Like, we got the excuses last year. Oh, he wasn't healthy. He was injured. Okay, now he's healthy. And we get one good game. And the minute there was any type of decent competition, pissed down his leg again. Like, this is what he does, though. But this is what he did at Michigan. And this is what he's doing at Iowa. Whatever company, whatever, Twitter tag, whatever one you want to take this, you want to put all these hot takes and put them up there and say, you're an idiot. Fine, you could take this one, though. And at the end of the year, we'll see who's an idiot. Caleb Johnson is my dark horse candidate for Doak Walker. Okay?
Wow.
I understand Acid Genty's going buck wild, and they're going to cool down. Teams are going to, right?
Yeah.
This kid is killing it, and nobody's talking about it because it's Iowa's defense and how shitty Cade McNamara is, okay? And how bad they want Kurt Fentz and that whole family to be right out of this place, right? Like, they had enough of that family. They're done. Right. This kid is just constantly grinding over 100 yards per game. He had 136 in this one. Like, if it wasn't for him, I would only imagine how bad this offense would look. he's the guy. And I think you might start seeing him start to be the bell cow of this whole offense. He might start getting 25 to 27 totes per
Right.
game now.
Right. And
Now, on the Iowa State side of the ball, the Cyclones may not score a ton, but they don't let their opponents score any, really. 11 points per game in the last two, 29th in the nation. I know that secondary is top notch, but they got 13 tackles for loss and 4 sacks. It's very, very easy to see that DC, John Heacock has got this team bought in. Bigger than a Donald Trump fan, okay? Like they are bought in. And I can't say they shouldn't be because everything is moving. The propane and the fire and the gasoline out of their ass comes out of that secondary. So, like, even if they, give that quarterback on the opposing team a little bit of time, they have lockdown cornerbacks. Their safeties can hit the snot out of you. Jalen Noel is turning himself into one of the top 5 receivers in this nation. Back-to-back games of over 130 yards. It's highlight reel catch after highlight reel catch. D, now I love you, buddy, like a brother, but we can go ask Sebastian Castro how he felt this week. 3 for 3. And Jalen Noel won in every battle. There hasn't been anybody stopping Noel this season, and he's been dominant in the last 2 games. I mean, he had a 75-yard touchdown where he was literally burnt 2 Iowa defenders and looked at them after he caught the ball.
Shout out to Moon. Moon is in the background producing this episode. I love what he's doing. How he's adding a little intel from each of the games inside of there. So shout out to him. Thank you for producing this show. One thing I want to mention, and for fans who have season tickets and go to games, they'll understand this. But when you create content like we do, a lot of times we're often at games. So we spend a lot of Sunday mornings looking at film, looking at, what I'm saying? Like, I think I watched most of the Bills game yesterday, but other than that, I was looking at college football stuff, man. Like, what I'm saying? Because we're at games, what I'm saying? So it's, people got to understand that. Like,
I didn't watch the Patriots.
You didn't watch the Patriots? That's
no, I did not, sir. I watched a few games. I watched, what did I see? I watched the Texas game again. Sound off. I watched the Iowa game. Absolutely terrible. I watched the Auburn-Cal game. Yeah, we'll get that. That's a topic for another discussion. Yeah. I watched like 3 or 4 games yesterday.
Did you catch Curran and Company?
I did. Jake's. It's time. He said it's time.
It's time. He was.
He doesn't care who it is. It's just time. It's time.
So we had an extremely interesting game in Norman, Oklahoma, as the number 15 ranked Oklahoma Sooners held on against the Cougars to win 16-12. I brought this game up for a reason because there was a discussion you and Boone were having inside of one of our chats, and I thought it was an amazing discussion. So I wanted you kind of to bring that back up so we could talk about it in front of our viewers.
So why is Jackson Arnold leading the running back room? He's not a running back. Why does he have 22 attempts when Gavin Sawchuk only has 10? He's got 12 more than Gavin Sawchuk, okay? Gavin Sawchuk averaged 6+ yards per attempt last season and had 9 touchdowns. You have Javonte Barnes also. Sawchuk should be the focus of this run game. Oh, yeah, no, by the way, you have a 5-star running back who came in and took one to the crib in the very first game, who leads your team in yardage, and Taylor Tatum. Why is Jackson Arnold the main running focal piece of this offense? That don't make sense to me, okay? That, I think, is hurting the development of Jackson. Develop the kid. That's why you ran Dylan Gabriel out of OU, right? Because you were ready to develop Jackson Arnold. What you saw in the 1.5 games was enough for you to say, okay, it's Jackson Arnold time. Well, don't wimp out. Don't puss out here. Develop the kid, right? Don't use him because he's an athlete and a dual threat quarterback until you can figure out how you're going to get the ball downfield, right? We're going to just run this kid into the ground. You can't do that. We need to set this kid in the pocket. Let him start working through his progressions. Let the horses behind him in the stable, you know what I mean, be the Clydesdales and carry this offense until, and that's where I think the difference is between Nico and Jackson Arnold. Nico ain't out there running if you don't have to, right? Nico's only running when he needs to extend the play, move on. He's letting the guys behind him. Dylan Sampson is a monster right now, okay?
He really is.
Josh Heupel was just saying, we're going to let Nico in the beginning, before we just open up the floodgates to him, we're going to let him check all the boxes naturally. Okay, we're not going to force feed him, and that's what Nico's doing. I think that's what they need to do, Jack. Let the kid become a passer. Get him comfortable in the pocket. Let the horses behind him carry it, and then we'll move forward with, hey, if you want to take this kid to go out there and take on linebackers, whatever. But let's get the groundwork for. You can't build a house without a foundation, people. All right, everybody wants to have this nice fancy mansion with nothing underneath it. You got to build from the ground up. Okay. Now, there are other wide receivers on the Sooners besides Deion Burks. I know he's the shiny new toy, but the dude's got 20 targets. That's 8 more than anybody else on the team. And
Wow.
Thompson's only crept up because he got 7 in this game. So it's like, it doesn't have to be all Burks. All right. What happened to the shop? He scored a touchdown in the first drive of last week, and then poof, puff the Magic Dragon. You pull the David Copperfield, dude's been gone. Nothing. Like Venables is kind of all over the place. I just got, email sent to me by the Oklahoma Sooners Police Department. They sent out an APB for Kip Lewis and Samuel Osanga. Someone needs to help Danny Stutzman. It cannot just be Danny Stutzman and the Rugrats. Like, what is going on here? These guys need to show up and tackle somebody. It can't be the one-man band. He can't play the drums, the trombone, do it. It just can't do it. That's what you're asking this guy to do. He's got 2 arms and 2 legs. You want him to play like he's got, like he's an octopus out there. Well, I just don't get it. Somebody else has to put pressure on the quarterback. Somebody else has to stop the run. And as soon as, I'm going to tell you something, Boomer, I love you, buddy. But the Sooners got lucky that Donovan Smith is 1 game away from being back to being that explosive QB. The first game, it'd been a while. This game, he was still kicking the rust off, and he only missed 3 passes, okay? I think he was 24 for 27. All I hear is that you got this crazy secondary, but Donovan Smith was out there cooking. Like, you know that meme? That dude got that big pan. He's cooking up that rice. My man was out there cooking that fried rice with the best of them, and nobody could stop him. All right? 1 game away. You about to watch Donovan Smith be back and start cooking. They need to let Jackson Arnold start cooking with passing the ball. Let's run the ball. Let's get some play action. Let's start spreading out. Venables is pretty much making it easy for defenses to read what they're going to do. Are you going to run the quarterback? Okay, I'll just stack the box. We'll just stack the box. We're going to beat the shit out of your quarterback. Right? You're not going to run with anybody else because you haven't seemed to do that. You did it the first week, but you had no testicles in this one. It's Houston. Like, I'm not knocking Houston, but they're not, quote unquote, one of the big boys, right? Like, let's get back to Oklahoma Sooner football, bro. We're known for guys, quarterbacks that got big arms that can run, right? And running backs that can just bang around, get you 1,000 yards a year, and get in the end zone. Let's get back to Oklahoma football.
Wow. I love it. Great take. Are you concerned for this team once they enter SEC play?
Extremely. These are the games where you're supposed to let Jackson Arnold cook, right? These are the games where if he goes 27 for 40, right? But he goes for 300, 2 touchdowns, interception. Growing pains. My man just got pains. There's no growing. I need Mike Sieber. You know that show, Growing Pains? Mike Sieber was the guy. This is what we need here. I need this. He learned in that show from his father by doing it. His father let him do stupid shit. Let you go and learn by your mistakes. Venables needs to let him make his mistakes in the passing game. You're gonna stop having the rope be this short. Let him go out there and do things. It's kind of the same problem that they're having in South Carolina with Norris Sellers. You don't know what you got, but you're also not letting the guy try to figure out what he got.
Right. And I think that's kind of where politics start to take over the sport, especially in South Carolina situation. All righty, let's get into this next game, Nino. Syracuse and Georgia Tech, 31-28 thriller in upstate New York. And both of these programs, it's the one of the rare time. We're close with a lot of programs. We have really great relationships with both Georgia Tech and Syracuse. So no rooting interest. I was just rooting for both teams when they both had the ball. But I will say this: can we finally put some respect on Kyle McCord's name? That's all I'm asking for. Just put a little respect on the man's name. That's all I'm talking about. Nino, what was your biggest takeaways?
3rd in the nation in yards. Number 1 in touchdowns. third and attempts. Kyle McCord's balling and seeing the field at an insane rate right now. Ryan Day, you're an ass, man. Like what you did to spark the fire under this kid, but you gonna regret it. I'm telling you, you gonna regret it, because at the end of the day, when you look at what Will Howard's doing and when you're looking at what my man Kyle McCord is doing, you're gonna say, "Oh shit, I done fucked up now." Right? You gonna learn today, my friend. It's like in that Kevin Hart voice. That's what Kyle McCord's saying. But you know what? Speaking of Kyle McCord, his coach Fran Brown is becoming a favorite of mine.
Oh yeah,
I love his swag. I love his confidence.
You got the Syracuse shirt on too, bro.
I love his confidence in himself and his players. The aura. Like if you could watch it, it's like a slime of ooze coming off him and brushing off on the Kyle McCord. He looked like he was out there like a young Drew Lock. I was just waiting for the come on. I was waiting. My man was out there cussing him out. You could hear him. They watching. They watching us. They're gonna watch now. Like my man was just. He got it. He's in his bag. You know you're saying like it comes a time for the greats. And I'm not saying he's a great. I'm just saying it comes a time in the greats where that switch clicks. That light goes off.
For sure.
Nothing bothers him no more. And he's in the zone. He's in the zone. Kyle McCord's in the zone. He like Mike Jordan. Like when it comes crunch time, and it's like, okay, nobody else I got it. Like it don't matter what you do. Trevor Pena's become this hot sensation, right? Like this kid's got 4 touchdowns in 2 games, but he's also going through his reads. He's got layered throws. He hit that second touchdown to Gatson. I was like, chef's kiss. Like, it's everything they're doing. They got Quinn Allen's cooking, whether it's coming out of the backfield, running the ball, or catching the ball. Like they have a plethora of talent. Offensively, defensively, Vidal Diggs is an absolute menace. This dude he is known for getting downhill. And that's the one thing that I was pissed off. They stopped getting him downhill. They put Diggs kind of going back in coverage in the late in the third quarter. What happened? Georgia Tech crept back in. Let teams that are run heavy and run quarterbacks that have good running games, right? Let my man get in there and disrupt shit. That's what he's known for, right? Homeboy on Georgia Tech side, neck roll, Kyle Efford. That dude's motor. Energize a bunny, bro. That dude just does not stop. I feel like he is the modern day program, Vladimir. He's him. Like without the face paint. Like I feel like that dude drinks gasoline, chews on thumbtacks. Like you know what I'm saying? Like that's this dude. And then he's out there like chewing on razor blades. I'm coming for you. I want your firstborn and your kidney. And I'm gonna drive you in the ground. Like he's just a football player. Brent, gotta figure something out here. This offense, I think, is 3 games on film. It can't be the Haynes King show only. Okay.
Agree.
Jamal Haynes, I'm a fan of.
Agree with you too.
Defense that was physical, like Florida State was supposed to be.
Oh yeah.
But with a defense that was physical, he kind of got put in check. I think he had less than 3.5 yards per carry. He did have the touchdown. They kind of eliminated him in the pass game until late in the third quarter. We had a big catch to keep a drive alive for a first down. Singleton kind of came alive, but it took it's in strides. Like 17 yards, and then you don't hear from for 8 minutes, right? Then he'll get another reception for like 9 yards, and then he's gone for the rest of that quarter. Last year, Singleton was the focal point of the pass game, right? It was big plays. He's getting them, but then he's kind of like just simmering away after that. I don't know if it's the line up front. I also said to you, they need another wide receiver threat.
They do.
Nobody else is kind of helping to draw the cover. The safety is just like a spotlight. I'm just spying on Singleton. That's the only guy I need to worry about until someone else proves me different. If they don't figure something out on offense, we might start to see a little more of the Haynes King from last year.
And that would be scary because their schedule isn't going to get easier.
No, but like I said, they played week 0. That's 3 games of film now. For all these defense, ain't much difference that I'm seeing to kind of keep people off their toes. When they start to figure King out, what happens? He usually tends to crumble. He hasn't had a turnover yet, right? No turnovers yet in 3 games. Oh, I think he had one the week before, one fumble. So it's only been 1 turnover in 3 games. So it's a lot better. But I'm starting to see at the bottom of this crystal ball for Georgia Tech, it's starting to get a little bit stress cracks.
You know, we had this conversation in the green room last night. Before we get out of here, I wanted to bring it up. I think probably for recent memory for me, you know, we 2007 I think is the marker for all great seasons in college football. But in recent memory, the 2022 season was phenomenal for me. You think of the storylines, you think of everything. Just think about how chaotic this season has been so far. And you said something yesterday while we were in the green room before we went on for Debbie Darlings. You said this may be the most off chalk season, and you've been saying it for weeks that we have. Can you speak on that a little bit? And why did you feel like going into this season that it might be the most off chalk season that we've seen in recent memory?
Well, I mean, everybody knows NIL, right? I mean, NIL, I think
changed the game for sure.
Changed the game in different ways. I look at it different. So NIL changes the spectrum because it puts all big dogs. There's levels to this shit. It puts all big dogs on the same platform.
Right.
They all pretty much got the same bag to spend from. Right. Ohio State decided they wanted to spend 13 this year. But I mean, somebody else could have spent that. I mean, like there was probably plenty of them that were in the 8, 9, 10 range. You know what I mean?
Right.
So the big fellas, the top 40, football teams in the nation, say top 50, it's all even. Like to come in and get somebody. You know what I mean? So that kind of levels it out. The playoff may just, for lack of a better term, give teams a little hope where there might not be hope.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So in a normal 14 playoff,
I
was going to say 12 to 16 teams. When this team's season starts, say, we got an actual chance.
We have a legitimate chance.
All right. There's probably 50 to 75 teams realistically right now, right? That probably think starting the season, we got a chance to be. We got a chance.
Right.
We just got. Did anybody think NIU was going to be in the top 25?
No.
So when I say 60 teams, it's not really that wild because NIU probably wasn't in the top 100.
No. I didn't hear one person say anything about NIU possibly being the G5 team. Yeah, I didn't hear one person say that, bro.
That opens up the field. So that alone, we have
great
plethora of year one starting quarterbacks.
Great take, D down, by the way. Go ahead, Oh
yeah, it became predictable. The same 4 or 5 guys that were going to be there all the time. I love this. The OGs are back
for sure,
right? Nebraska's, Miami's, Wisconsin's starting to come around, right? Cincinnati's and Pittsburgh starting to be relevant again. Like Louisville, hey, back-to-back years where we're
we talked about them a little bit yesterday.
Yeah, so it's like there's more parity. You know what I mean? If it's almost as if in this, because many people feel like it's a script. So in this WWE script,
right,
of college football, Shane McMahon is now at the helm instead of Vince McMahon. We got a little bit of things that are changing. Maybe in a little bit, Hunter will be in charge of college football, and you see a little bit more. It'll go from 12 to 16. You know what I'm saying? So, like, it gives more people hope. All you got to do is give teams that this much hope. That could spark something. You spark something, you spark fire, they catch fire and lightning in a bottle, and they take off. I just think they open a door to let more people in, right? Cream rises to the top, but when it's in a bigger pot, there's more cream at the top. So you went from a 16-ounce glass to a 40-gallon jug. It's going to be more at the top to wait it out, and then you just see which ones, after everything settles, who's in the middle.
I think that's interesting because that's something that my Discord is going off right now. This is pure comedy, bro. And it's something you and I debated in the off season because I wasn't a huge proponent of going from 4 to 12. I'd have been cool with 6. I'd have been cool with 8. Wasn't a huge proponent of it. Wasn't a huge fan of when I was here in Damn, they're talking 14 to 16. But seeing where we're at now, It's weird in some weird way, which I didn't see. And Richard Clark also shared those same sentiments. Me and Jalen had the opportunity to talk to him at ACC Media Days. He's the executive director of the college football playoff. He said everybody has a chance, and that was the same sentiments you was just saying is right now. So, hey, this is interesting. We're only 3 weeks in of college football, and it's so much to talk about. So much.
3 months ago,
Mhm.
we spoke about how the ACC was dead.
Right.
But there's 4 teams from the ACC currently in the top 25.
Yes, sir.
So this is what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? Like this gives the landscape a whole different look.
Oh yeah.
You're letting people. Oh, I got my foot in the door. You're letting teams like that just stick around, knowing this game. Maybe I'm down 20, right?
Mhm.
And I would probably just pack it in. But this is a ranked team, or this is a SEC
For
or
sure.
whatever team.
Mhm.
Maybe I need to go. NIU. What was that? 62-yard field goal. Like probably wouldn't have kicked that field goal back at that time. Probably would have took a knee, right? But it's a 12-team playoff with G5 automatic bid. How you feeling? You feeling good? I got you, coach. Put him out there and kick the 62-yard.
Mhm.
You see what I'm saying? It changes the way people look at shit
The
now.
narrative has been changed 100%. Nino been cooking on screen. Dino's been cooking off screen. Moo been cooking for like 2 straight hours now. This is crazy. This is crazy, man. Nino.
You don't want to talk? You don't want to talk Texas?
Per usual. Did I skip Texas? Did I skip Texas on the docket?
We got Texas, Michigan to close it out.
We do got Texas, Michigan on the docket. I am so sorry. Nino, you've been on this Texas Longhorn train for a minute. They were a hill that you were willing to die on. After this weekend, I did it early. I'll do it again. My apologies, Texas. I wasn't familiar with your game. I will no longer hate on you, and you are now a perennial threat to win a national championship. That's where I'm at with it. Talk to me on your thoughts on this 31-12 beatdown, and can this Longhorn team win the whole damn thing?
You better shut your mouth. Okay? Don't talk like that. I don't want to talk like that right now. No. I get on my soapbox for a second. Thank you, Dino. Thank you. Quinn Ewers held back Xavier Worthy because he couldn't throw the deep ball. Quinn Ewers has no arm. He can't throw the ball 20 yards downfield. Quinn Ewers is a Dunkin' Dink manager. That's what he is. He works at Dunkin' Donuts. Holy shit. He must have went to some major camp, saw Aladdin, got the genie, got all the wishes granted to him, saw E.T. phone the fuck home. Like, all of a sudden, Quinn Ewers can throw the ball wherever the fuck he wants at any point, lead every receiver on that damn team, and he looks like an all-star. All of a sudden. And he can do that at will. With the running back room that's kind of getting pieced together right now, that's pretty much relying on a true freshman in Gibson. He's the dude. Jadon Blue came through. I'm happy he's finally performing. But it's been the Gibson show. There ain't no way to get it twisted in the past 2 weeks. It's Quinn Ewers, bro. He's the X factor. This is what we thought he was going to be at Ohio State. This is what everybody thought that mullet mania was going to be. You know what it was? He didn't need the mullet. Shave that shit down. Get that buzz cut. Let's cook. This kid is dialed in. Sock looks like a little kid on a candy store on the sideline every time a dude throws the ball. Did the throw over the left shoulder throw down the right sideline to Matthew Golden?
Oh, yeah.
Beautiful. Okay? The touchdown that they called back to Jonte Cooks, rolling out cross body, right? Through 2 defenders to Jonte Cooks, got called back, right? I don't give a shit. Watch the motion. Watch my man cross his whole body and fire this thing on a rope. Oh, next touchdown to the tight end in the third quarter, 25 yards out. Split the seam. Bow. Hit this dude in the middle of the end zone. We shut the fuck up about how Quinn Ewers can't throw the ball deep no more. My man is cooking, all right? And he's dialed in just like Kyle McCord is. You piss these guys off. They're tired of hearing it, right? They know that they're good. They know that they got the talent. And now it's their time to shine. Bro, both of these gentlemen, but especially Quinn Ewers, just put Shador Sanders in the dust, bro. Everybody kept saying Shador Sanders was the Heisman favorite. Right now, I'll take Quinn Ewers over Carson Beck, over Shador Sanders, over Jackson Dart, over. The only one that might be able to give Quinn Ewers a push is Garrett Nussmeier. That's the only one that might be able to give him a push. All right? Because Garrett Nussmeier, I know we got that L in the bag already, but Garrett Nussmeier is dialed.
Yeah,
in.
he looked.
I'm talking dialed in like a rotary phone. Like you gotta hit the and let that thing kick back. Like he's picking any number that he wants to on a screen and firing away. Clemson sure couldn't use Andrew McCumber. I said to you in the offseason, I said, Texas went out and filled the holes for every issue that people said they had. Oh, they got burnt in the playoff by deep ball play, not having a good secondary, not having a safety that could come up and just hit the snot out of you. He was the difference maker on that defense. Anthony Hill was a guy. Don't get me wrong as a linebacker. But McCumber was any time that Davis Warren thought he had a completion or thought that dude's waking up. You hear that? That's Davis Warren dreaming about Andrew McCumber right now. Every time that he thought about Andrew McCumber or thought he was coming down that side, he got shook. The dude was just a monster. They needed receivers because they said Quinn couldn't throw the ball deep. So they got receivers that were quick and slotty, right? Don't matter. My man's chucking the ball downfield, and he can still pinpoint anywhere he wants because these guys can cover the field. Line's cooking. Defense is cooking. Was it Grant and Graham from Michigan? Bro, you could have gave him capes. They still weren't stopping him. They did everything they possibly could to push Texas' offensive line backwards, and they just hit a brick wall every time. Kenneth Grant would need oxygen at the end of that game that he was gassed so much. All I heard was, Will Johnson. Will Johnson. Will Johnson. I guess you say his name 3 times, he disappears, right? Because he didn't do shit in this game. You know what I mean? Like, he didn't do a damn thing. Texas has got to be the favorite right now. I know everybody, it's Georgia. Texas, to me, is the favorite. Every week they go up. Give them one more week. I think they're going to be right there behind Georgia's neck, creeping down. It's little brother, big brother right now. I think it's time for little brother to win one.
And give kudos to Sark, man. Like you said, these in consecutive seasons, he's been algorithmic in building his team. He's been building it the right way through high school, and then the positions that he needs, go and get the best out of the best in a portal, and then look at the play. I was trying to do this earlier, you went crazy today, bro. I'm talking about dummy. You got anything you want to add before we close the show out?
Nah, I'm glad football's back.
Oh, for sure.
I'm glad that we're all lunatics and we all get to go down rabbit holes. And the content that we're able to consume and just break down is immense. What Moon's doing on his show, World of College Football, what you and Jalen are doing in College Football Showdown is unique, and I love both of you guys' shows. Like we're covering everything. I don't know. He gonna get carpal tunnel real soon at the rate that Moon's been putting out articles. That risk gonna hurt. But my man's cooking. If you haven't seen it, go over to cfbnation.com. There's a plethora of articles by my guy, CFB so Moon.
Many. Andy and SC are doing their thug.
We're covering as many teams as possible. In honor of my guy, Brian Bosage, I will be continuing the Garnett Roost.
Shout out to Bosage, man.
Bosage is
a legend.
Yes, he's a legend. He's a good friend of mine. He's my teacher, my mentor. I wouldn't be a Gamecocks fan if it wasn't for him, and I wouldn't be falling down this stupid South Carolina rabbit hole if it wasn't for him. But I'm going to continue the show. He had to step away for a little while, but he gave me the blessing. So CFB Nation and the Garnett Roost lives on. You can catch that on Thursdays. This team show's coming. Just because you don't see them doesn't mean they're not there. D-Now, Boomer, they're cooking. They'll be back soon. It's that time of year,
Oh yeah.
We're getting a facelift. We're doing some changing of the guard here.
I'm loving it. I'm loving it. I love the new Overreaction background. I've been teetering with College Football Show the background for a few weeks. I finally found the one I love.
Like the intro there. The boys are back in town type deal.
Yeah, and I was honestly scared to use it, and I'll tell you why off screen. I can't say it on screen, so I hadn't been using it because that was our intro from like Moon. Unmute yourself from like maybe like episode what like 10 or 11. The boys are back in town because that was a theme that we had back in the old days when we were doing content together on Read and React. But Moon and Jalen was saying instead of having the instrumental, so we just had to continue those vibes. So I'm loving seeing everybody work, bro. It's Instagram. Is it at 20K? It might be at 20K. We'll be at 20K on here soon. It's amazing, man.
The growth. It's all we appreciate everybody. It's been it wasn't for you guys, we
For
couldn't
sure.
grow. So.
For sure. As I always like to say, there are no more victories in the sport that survive in advance. That's why college football is the greatest regular season. And until next time, I'm sure y'all be seeing us soon. Y'all take care. One time for the one time. Da da dee.